right, so welcome back, everyone. I think you can hopefully hear me now. Just getting everything set up. Technologically challenged at times, but we'll get there. Yeah, so yin tonight. Grab any props that you need, blankets, blocks, bolsters. I'll repeat everything I just said because I don't think anybody heard me. But yeah, grab anything you need to support yourself. If you don't have yoga props, grab a towel, a pillow off the sofa, whatever you have handy. If there's a particular area of the body that you want me to hit, go ahead and put it in the comments. I will try and help out wherever I can. And yeah, remember this is yin, so it's really slow. Listen to your body. If your body is telling you you're going too far, back off, do a little bit less. These long holds, you can get really deep. So listen to your body. Grab water if you don't have it. It is getting warmer outside, so it's always great to hydrate. We'll go ahead and get started. Just sitting with your legs crossed, however you like. From here, take your right ear towards your right shoulder. We're just going to take a moment to stretch out the neck and the shoulder a little bit. So right ear towards the right shoulder, and let your left hand release down towards the floor. You can close your eyes. Just go back to your breath. And I change this just a little bit. Your head is staying right where it is, but take your left hand and reach it behind you. Just changing the stretch a little bit. All right, Suzanne, I will work in the lower back happily. Go ahead and come back to the center, and we're just going to switch sides. So let the left ear come towards the left shoulder, right hand release down towards the floor, getting into the opposite side of the neck, opposite shoulder. On this side. Often we hold or use one side of the body more than the other, so it gets tighter, holds more tension. So just notice the differences as you move through class. Now go ahead and let that right hand reach behind you. Change the stretch just a little bit. I have to say it's really nice. I can hear the birds singing in the background. I don't usually get to practice with the birds in the background. We don't hear that when we're at the Y. It's really nice. go ahead and come back to the center. Now let your legs stay crossed, however they are. And you might want to block. You can have it handy, or if you don't have a block, whatever you have handy. But from where you're sitting, just lean forward. Now if you have a block or something in front of you, you can always use it to rest on. You can use it to support your upper body. Take the weight out of the stretch a little bit. You can, this is yin, so if you like, you can drop your head. You can use your block or whatever you have to support your head as well. So you're looking for the beginning of sensation, not your deepest stretch, because again, these are long holds. So finding the beginning of sensation and just hanging out there, letting your body adjust. In other yoga classes, you're doing the work. But in yin, the pose is doing the work. So simply by putting yourself in the shape, you're letting the shape make the changes, the shifts in your body. Now from here, you're just going to shift a little bit. Walk your hands over to the right side. So you're coming over top of the right knee. Again, you can always use your block. Maybe you find you want to be up a little bit higher when you add in the twist. Maybe you find you want to be a little bit lower. And notice what shifts by adding in the twist. Now go ahead and walk your hands over to the left side. Again, using that block if you want it. So you're coming over top of the left knee. Noticing if you can go deeper here, or maybe you want to do a little bit less. Go ahead and come back to the center. Lift back up. Now, before you do anything, notice which leg you've got in front or on top, crossed in front or on top. I've got my right leg in front, so just notice which one is in front or on top, and then open those legs out. Wiggle them a little bit. Maybe even lean back and open the front of the body for a moment. And then we're going right back into that, but we'll switch those legs around. So take the opposite leg. For me, it's the left leg will be in front. We'll get into those hips a little bit differently just by switching out those legs. When you're ready, just lean into it. Again, use the block if you want. You can round your back. You can drop your head. And as we go through this a second time, notice what's different just because you switched those legs. Always going back to your breath. Now go ahead and walk your hands over to the right side again. Coming over top of the right knee. Use the block if you want it. Notice if you can go a little deeper with that different leg in front, or maybe you want a little bit less. And as you're staying in this position, notice any thoughts, emotions, sensations. Notice what's coming up for you. I'm not trying to change it, just acknowledge it. Go ahead and walk your hands over to the left side. Take the block with you if you're using it. Lean over top of that left knee. Go ahead and come back to the center. Lift on up. And then you're going to shift so that your legs are straight out in front of you. We're going into a forward fold. So if your legs are like mine and they really like to roll out, it really starts in the hip if they're rolling out like that. But in yin, you can let them roll out. You don't have to hold them so the feet are straight up. And when you're ready, just lean into this. Find the beginning of sensation wherever that is for you. So if you come just an inch forward, that's okay. If you're going all the way down, that's okay too. We're all different. So just notice how far you go and find the beginning of sensation. And then if you like, you can round your back, you can drop your head. We are getting into this position differently than in a regular yoga class. Remember, with the long hold, you may find that you slowly ease a little bit deeper. Maybe that sensation is gone and you can go just a hair deeper, and that's okay. Try not to rush it. There are no points for touching your toes. You're not trying to pull yourself into this. You're trying to ease into it. Shift from one part of the body to another. For me, it started out in my lower back, but now I can feel this in the back of my legs and my back not as much. So just notice how the sensations move from one part to another as you go through the different layers of the body. Just a couple more breaths here. And go ahead and rise back up. From here, you're just taking those hands behind you so the fingers are pointing away. And walk those hands out as far as is comfortable. Opening up the shoulders, opening up the front of the body. You may feel this in the elbows. You might feel it somewhere else. Just notice. If you need to back off a little bit, walk your hands in a little bit more. Not going to hold this one quite as long. Just a few more deep breaths here. Go ahead and rise on up. Slowly bend those elbows. Shake out those arms. And then come over onto your hands and your knees. If you can see my feet, I've got the toes curled under. Curl your toes under and push back on your hands. Stretch out the bottom of the feet. And you may find this is gracious plenty stretch for you. And you may find that your feet are feeling a little bit looser today, and you can come up some. Maybe you come up all the way. Keep tense. So it's okay if you do a little less here. Another one we won't hold quite as long. Go ahead and release your feet, wiggle those toes. And then sit back on your heels, stretch out the opposite side of your ankle. And we're going to bring the arms into this as well. So take your right arm in front of you and wrap your left one underneath and around. Lift those elbows just a little bit. Go ahead and release those arms. Shake them out a little bit. And then we're just switching sides. Start with that left arm in front. Wrap the right one underneath and around. Lift those elbows just a bit. Go ahead and release those arms. Shake them out again. And then we're going back to the bottom of your feet. So curl those toes under. Push back on your hands. The feet again. Remember, you can stay here. You can come up part way. You can come up all of the way. Notice if it feels different going into this a second time. Go ahead and release those feet. Wiggle your toes. And then take a moment to move however you need to. A lot of stillness in yin, so maybe a little down dog might feel good. Some people like plank in the middle, cobra, whatever feels good to you. And then we're going to move into pigeon next. So draw the right knee forward, however you like to get there. Right knee coming towards that right hand. Your weight between your hips. Letting your upper body release down. Now this is where block and blanket come in handy again. You can always use them to support your head, maybe underneath the hip, whatever you need. Remember, no pain in the front knee. If there is, make adjustments. Lift yourself up. Use more props. And also know that it's not about how deep that you go into it. It's about finding the beginning of sensation and letting your body adjust into the pose. Couple more breaths like this. Now from here, leave your legs like they are, but lift your upper body. Think of lifting up, maybe leaning back a little bit. Changing the stretch. Now add in a little twist. Walk your hands over to the right side as much or as little as you want. Notice what shifts here. And now you're keeping that twist, but walking your hands away from you a bit more. Remember, it's what works for you. So maybe you're going a little bit, maybe. Slowly come back to the center and come out of the pose. Take a moment to move however you need. That was a really long hold. So wiggle, move your body. And as you do it, notice the difference in your hips. And then we're moving over to the opposite side. So draw the left knee forward. Center your weight between your hips. And let your upper body release down. Again, using any support that you need. Maybe something underneath your head, maybe something underneath that left hip. You've got about a minute more here. Making any adjustments that you need to. Or maybe just settling into the pose a little bit deeper. Go ahead and lift your upper body. Change the stretch. Now go ahead and add in your twist. Walk your hands over to your left side, again, as much or as little as you want. Keep that twist and walk your hands away from you a bit more. Slowly come back to the center and come out of the pose. Again, taking a moment to move however you need. Come on to your back. We're going to take a moment to stretch out the side of your body. So come all the way on to your back. Laying flat on the floor in the center of your mat. And from here, take your right ankle, right heel over to the right side of your mat. And then cross the left ankle over top of the right. Reach your arms overhead, and the right arm is coming over to the right side. Left hand is reaching over to the right hand. So you're opening the left side of the body as you curl over to the right. The side of the body is an area that we don't stretch often enough. So just taking a little time for it here. Again, going back to your breath. Noticing any thoughts, feelings, sensations. Being aware. Go ahead and come back to the center, and we're going to pause here for a moment. Recenter your body. So maybe just extend those arms and legs in opposite directions on the floor. Maybe you're drawing your knees in, hugging them in close. Recenter your body. And then let's move over to the opposite side. So take your left heel over to the left side of the mat. Right ankle is crossing over the left. Left hand coming over to the left side as well, and the right hand resting in the left. Opening the right side of the body. Finding any spots of tightness. Any stress that you're holding. Connecting to the body. This is your time. Couple more breaths here. Go ahead and come back to the center and recenter your body one more time. And then you're moving into your Shavasana. So staying on your back and letting those feet be about mat width apart, wiggling those hips a little bit, get them as even as you can. Arms reaching out to the side or maybe even overhead. If you have a blanket, you can place it under your head, a bolster or a pillow you can put under your knees. And if you have a wall, you can always come into legs up the wall. Just settling into the pose, taking this time for you. Nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Every step is holy. The journey from known to unknown, from the unreal to the real, is rarely revealed in advance. The potholes, detours, false starts, and quick retreats are each honorable and even needed in the bigger scheme, in the forest that can't be seen between the trees. It took years for me to realize that the very twists and turns and shadows I labeled problems were really sacred ground, grace disguised as obstacles, the whole path a pilgrimage, mysteries bearing themselves before me all along the way. Go ahead and draw your knees in. Hug them in close. And gently roll over onto your side. Pause there and just let your body adjust. And gently rise on up to seated. Sitting on something for a moment. I'm sitting on a meditation cushion, but lift your hips up just a little bit if you can. Cross your legs in some way and sit tall through your spine. Let your hands rest in your lap, however you like. And close your eyes for a moment. Just focus on your breath. Feel the inhale, the oxygen coming into your body, nourishing it. And feel your exhale, letting go, releasing. Inhale and exhale. Feeling the lungs expand as you inhale. Feeling them contract as you exhale. Notice if you can feel that breath anywhere else in your body right now. Inhale and exhale. Take one more deep inhale in. And with your exhale, let everything go. Bring your hands to your heart, palms together. May you laugh more. May you rest more. May you judge less. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. Stay safe and healthy. One of the joys of practicing or teaching you from home is I get to smell things like zucchini bread cooking in the oven right now. So that's a really nice thing to finish up with. But yeah, stay safe and healthy. And remember, donations are always appreciated. I'll put my Venmo account in the comments. And I'll be back next week, Tuesday and Thursday again. Tuesday with regular flow class and Thursday with a yin class. Thanks, Suzanne, for joining me, and Lisa, and let's see who else is here. Tracy and Holly. And thanks everyone for being here. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.